Ma'am, we are live now. I
Okay.
request your permission to proceed with the session, ma'am.
Yeah, you can start the session.
Thank you, ma'am. Hari Om, everyone. A warm welcome to the 22nd session of Higher Anatomy lecture series for the first year BMS students. The exclusive sessions will be taken up by the eminent speakers of anatomy across the country for a period of 7 days, which started from 23rd of June and will be running up to 17th of July. Before starting the session, let me introduce you to Jignesha. Jignesha is a pan-India platform of Ayush fraternity led by the student community of Bharata and was initiated by ABVP in 1998. Its motto is Learn Ayush to Practice Ayush. It involves empowering Ayush students from campus to community, bridging the gap between Ayush students and policymakers as well as administrative authorities, connecting every aspect of Ayush, including students, academicians, practitioners, scientists, industrialists, and hospitals, all under one umbrella. Think globally, act locally. In last 2 decades, our efforts were to strengthen the Irish education system and boost confidence among Irish students. Jignesha initiated various programs in different parts of the country, from grassroots to international platforms, through discussions, study circles, seminars, workshops, and conferences. Let me list a few initiatives undertaken by Jignesha, starting with study circles, lecture series on specific topics, free medical camps, social health status survey, hands-on training workshops, conferences to explore and learn unique aspects of Ayurveda, interaction with eminent Vaidyas and academicians, brainstorming session with high stalwarts, policymakers, and key stakeholders of ice systems, National Arogya Expo and International Conference, national level seminars, medicinal plant visits, pharmaceutical visits, agitations for the demands of high students community, private internship program for interested students to learn with acharyas, interaction with traditional healers and visits to explore regional flora, online mock tests, social awareness campaigns on various issues, campaigns for the promotions of various concepts of IS systems for social welfare like Swarna Bindu Prashna Camp, Ashtashatattva Yoga, Group Surya Namaskara, and other competitions. Free healthcare assistance to people through local governing bodies during natural calamities and accidents were also provided by Jignesha. In our last session, more than 300 students joined for the live session and asked their queries regarding the subject and examination. And so far, we have received 14,000 plus views on Iron Anatomy channel videos. We hope to reach as many students as possible who can take maximum benefit out of this. Vidyanama Narasya Rupamadikam Prachana Vittam Dhanam. We have seen the inability of a common student to afford huge amounts on commercial study platforms despite their Jignasa. So Jignasa is here to give a helping hand. Learn anatomy with experts and all we need is your immense interest to learn. Today, we have Dr. Sandhini K, BMS MD, Assistant Professor Rachna Shareera, PNNM Ayurveda Medical College, Kerala. Ma'am has completed her UG from Manamma Ayurveda Medical College, Kerala, and PG from SDM College of Ayurveda and Hospital, Udupi. Ma'am has worked as a assistant professor at Sairam Ayurveda Medical College, Chennai, and later worked as assistant professor at SDM Institute of Ayurveda, Bengaluru. Ma'am is currently working as assistant professor at PNNM Ayurveda Medical College, Thrissur, Kerala. Ma'am has presented three national paper presentation and four international paper presentation and has conducted five workshops. Ma'am is one of the organizing member of Marma Prabodhini webinar. Ma'am has also published two articles in her name. Ma'am, we welcome you to the session, ma'am, and we are great to have you today and everyone
Thank
who
you so
is
much.
watching this. We hope you find it this helpful. Ma'am, now I request you to carry forward with the session. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Karthik, for the nice introduction. And I'm thankful to the Jitnyosa team who has like come up with such a good idea to help students who are having the difficulties in learning and all. So, without any delay, we can start the session, I think. So, today's topic is Snayu and Peshi Shareera. Um, so, I welcome you all to the presentation. Karthik,
Yes, ma'am.
this like I'm sharing my slide, but it is not moving. So, what can I do?
Ma'am, I think you have switch it to slide share, ma'am. Like this one where full screen will be visible. I think the slides will not change sometimes at that mode. So if you exit that mode, I think the slides will start changing.
So I have to stop sharing and then like
No,
again
ma'am.
do that.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay. Uh,
Just tap on escape key, ma'am. There will be key called ESC.
yeah, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Uh, Now,
Ma'am, did you tap on escape key,
yeah,
ma'am?
yeah. Escape.
Ma'am, now if you change, I think it will start changing.
No, but it is not changing.
Ma'am, can you reshare the screen again, ma'am?
Yeah, yeah. Stop. I'll
Close.
stop and do that again. Okay.
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah, ma'am. It works.
Okay. Okay. Now you can see, right?
Ma'am, I'm just
Yeah, it
checking.
has moved. No. So shall I start?
Ma'am, just a second, ma'am. I'm
Yeah.
adding it to the view. Ma'am, can you change the slides now, ma'am? We will check once.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. It's changing now.
Changing. No. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes,
So we can move on to the session. So the topic of today is Snayu and Peshi Shareera. So before moving to the topic proper, for the students, the mark distribution according to the NCSM syllabus, that today's syllabus is like 11 marks for Kesha, Dandanaga, Sharira, Peshi and Myology together. And Sandhi, Snayu and Arthrology, it is given as the 17 marks. And separately, we can see like Peshi is of 3 marks and Snayu is of 3 marks. But in the previous scheme, it was different, and only 50 marks was there from whole of the Ayurvedic portion. But usually, Snayu and Peshi was asked for 5 marks and 3 marks questions. So the probability of asking questions like a long answer is very less, and it is not given in our syllabus also, like it will not be asked. So the probability of asking MCQ, that is multiple choice and short answer questions, are more. So we need to prepare accordingly how we have to write for 5 marks and how we have to approach a multiple choice question. So moving on to the topic. So all will be knowing about the topic, that is what is Snayu. So Snayu is the Shanakara Upadadu Vishesha. So Snayu is the Upadadu of Meda, and it is also known as Snayo Bandhanam Prokto Dehe Mamsa Asti Medasam. So it is acting as a binding material which binds Mamsa, Asti and Medas in our body. So these are the definitions of Snayu. And moving on to its types, they are four in number. That is, snayus are divided into four, and they are Pratanavati, Vritta, Pridhula, and Sushira. And the distribution of these snayus have been told by the Acharya. That is, Pratanavati snayu can be seen in Sarvasandhi and also in Shagha. And Vritta, it is the Kandara. And the Sushira snayu we can see in the end points of Amapakvashya and Vasti. And also the last one, that is Pridhula, it can be seen in the Parshva and Uras. Now these are the sloga representations. Now you have to see how you can represent it in your paper. So either you can represent it as a pictorial representation or a flowchart representation, so that it will be catchy for the examiner or the viewer who is valuing your paper. So either you can make it in a very presentable manner, that is you can write snayu in the center and the four like types in the like around it, or you can draw it a flow chart and you can like enumerate it below. So this is how you present. The other one is the slokas that we have read and we have by hearted. So what we should highlight in that, we should know when we are presenting our paper. That is very important, because to score marks and how you have to present, that is very much needed, so that you can score marks. And moving into the distribution, it is total number of snayu is about 900, and it is divided into three, like shagha, madhya sharira, and griva upari, or urdu chatru gada. And the shagha gada, it is about 600, and madhya sharira, it is about 230, and griva upari, it is 70. So here we have to give emphasis to the numbers, so that it is by hearted. Make sure that it is by hearted, because it can be asked as a multiple choice question. And what is the function of snayu? So this is an added thing that you can write if it is asked for a 5-mark question. So why I'm repeating like the marks and the distribution means, a student should know how to approach a question and how much you should write if it is for like 5 marks. So all the points that I've already told, that is the definition or the types and its distribution, every point, every heading should be there in your answer. So here we have given a pictorial representation of what the function of snayu is about. So there you can clearly see that there is a boat which is made of bamboo, which is tied with the knots. So just like that, the body is being tied by the snayus, especially in the areas of bones and other structures which is fastened by the ropes. Just like that, the ligaments or the snayus are helping our body to control the weight, or they are weight bearing structures. So that simile you have to understand, you have to write in like the function of the snayu. And what is the importance of snayu? Why we are studying about snayu? So acharya have told that like apart from the injuries of asti, mamsa, sira, and sandhi, the injury to snayu can cause more pain or injury to the person. So the knowledge of snayus, where it is placed or what are the types, everything is needed for a shalyatantra specialist for extracting deeply seated shalya from our body. So this is the prayojana of snayu, or the importance of snayu. So there are like 3-4 slides we have completed, starting from the definition of snayu. So starting from definition, it was the ubadadu of medodadu, and it was 4 types, that is pratanavati, which is present in the shaga and all the sandhis. And second one is vritta, that is also known as kandara. So while we are writing or we are enumerating the things, we'll just write it down as vritta, which is kandara. We won't go to the explanation of that. So we need to explain what is kandara as well. So function of the kandara, it is prasarana and akunchana, and it is about 16 in number, which is about 4 in pada, then 4 in hasta, griva, and prishta. Like each 4 in griva, prishta, hasta, and pada. And the agra prarohas of the kandaras have also been told by the acharya, which is the terminal part of the kandara. So this part we will omit, or the students will omit. They'll just write like vritta, which is kandara. But the explanation of that, because acharya have already told it in the paribhasha sharira, he had not explained it here. But you have to write it, because it should be explained if it is asked for 5 marks. And the third one is sushira snayu, which is seen in the end part of the amasya and pakvasya, which all we can get in that shloka. But this kandara portion, that is the vritta snayu, it is all already told as kandara. Only that line we will get. And the fourth one is Prudhula, which is seen in the Parsha, Prishta, Ura, and Shira Pradesha. So the total number is 900. And the distribution, I've already gone through it. That is the Madhya Shareera, how much is there? 230. Then the Shaga is 600. And the Grivopari is about 70. So this is about the Snayu Shareera, and the next one is the Peshi. So the total number of patients, as you all know, it is about 500 in number, and in females there are 20 more, that is 520, and the distribution is Shaga. In Shaga it is 400, and in Koshta it is 66, and in Jatrurdhva that is 44. So these numbers you have to, again I'm emphasizing on the numbers because these can be asked for the multiple choice questions. And Peshi Prakara. So earlier in the scheme, like previous schemes, they used to ask the Peshi Prakara, or the types of Peshi, as a 3-mark question. So you have to list out, those who are from the previous scheme, they have to list out how much Peshis are there. That is the types of the Peshi. They are 12 in number. The types are 12 in number. So they are Bahala, Pelava, Stula, Anu, Prithu, Vritta, Hraswa, Dirgha, Stira, Mridu, Slakshta, and Karkasha. So the features or the meanings I have given on the other side of the table. So if you like make this as a table form, then it will be more clear for the examiner rather than writing it in a sentence or something, because it will be more catchy, and it will be more presentable. Then we have told about the 520 species, that is 20 extra in the females. So it is the 20 extra, they are present in the Stana Pradesha, 10. Then Apatyapada, that is the external genitalia, 4, which is 2 internal and 2 external. Then Garbhajitra, they are 3, and Shukrartava Praveshini, they are 3. So this also you can write it as flow chart, as divided into, like in males how much is there, and in females how much is there, and in females how much is extra, so that you can write in one flow chart itself. So here the questions might arise, like what to emphasize, because the mark distribution is very low in these like two topics. What we should emphasize, so you should emphasize on the numbers, that how much is the total number of Snayu, then how much is the total number of Peshi, and how much is the distribution in each area. And they can ask the questions like how much pages are there in females, then 4 options can be given. So you have to emphasize the numbers in each and every area of Snayu and Peshi. Then the student should think that how my paper should stand out, or how my paper will be like catchy for an examiner. So for that you have to improve your presentation skill. It is not about how much slokas that you have read, or how much you read in the during the study holidays or something, but how you're presenting in your paper is very much important, especially for our like Rachana Shareera, because it includes figures, and it is having many modern topics. I'm not talking about Snayu or Peshi, but the entire like Rachana Shareera, how we have to like present on a paper. So you have to add figures when it comes to the organs, or like bones, or any other structures like joints or something. So you have to add figures in each and every question. You have to add figures, and if somebody is having an extra skill of good handwriting, or like those who are having the skill of drawing, so you have to like use that extra skill, if and make sure that your handwriting can be read to the opposite person, because we are getting the scanned documents of your papers. So we should understand what you have written. So that's why we are telling about the usage of flowcharts, or usage of the pictorial representation of something. This can be used in even marma also. There you are studying the like the composition of the marma. So there also you can write it like in a pictorial representation, 5 mamsas, the sirasnayu, that one you can pictorially represent it, and you can do it. So in many places you can actually do it. So the question is, are you worried about the exams, and are you worried about the entire scenario of the exam. So most of the people or the most of the students will tell yes, even though they have studied, even though they are having the base, they will tell us like, yes, we are worried. So how or why and how to approach, that is the question. So as I have already mentioned, usage of flowcharts or tables will help you, and while studying itself you have to study it like that, then only you can present it on the paper. And the distributions, especially the distribution of sandhi or asti, or especially in ayurvedic portions, you can actually add the tables. And in shlokas, so many slokas we would have read. So what is peshi, or what is snayu, or what is sandhi. So here in shlokas also, what we have to understand is there will be some words which should be highlighted. That is the core of the shloka. That should be highlighted. So you have to you can underline it, or you can just pick that word and you can write it down and explain it. So there are many ways to do that. And also, as I have told earlier, in Snayu, many of the headings will be there. So make sure that headings are covered, or you are writing those headings and highlighting those headings in boxes, or like using your pen, underlying it, or underlying two times, or something. Some ideas should be there to present it. And also the subheading. So this is not applicable to the Ayurvedic portion as well, but to the modern portion. So it is like, if we are writing an organ, what is the pattern we should write? You have to write the location of the organ, then you have to write uh, the parts of the organ, then you can draw a picture there marking the parts or the attachments, or so that your teachers would have guided you how to approach a question. So you need to derive it from how the headings and subheadings can be written in your uh, answer sheets. Now, moving on to the questions that can be asked, the probable questions. It is not like the full questions that I've prepared or something, but these can be asked as the MCQ questions, like total number of Peshi or Snayu, and the four options can be given. Then the name, the Snayu present in Shagha and Sarva Sandhi, and the total number of Peshi in females. And also the number of Peshi in Jatrudhva, how many are there, and the shape of snayu, what the shape of snayu, what it resembles, and number of snayu in shaga. So these are the kind of questions that you can get as an MCQ. And what about the short answer questions? So from the previous question papers, we have so I have collected these. So most of the questions they have asked us, explain snayu and its types, or describe snayu, simply they have asked like describe snayu, or describe peshi, and also the snayu along with kandara. So these are the questions that you might get in the question papers. And for the previous scheme, you can go through the previous question papers as well, because it will be helpful for you. And for them, the 3 marks questions were there. So the snayu prakara as well as the peshi prakara, that is the types of the peshi and types of the snayu, was frequently asked for 3 marks. But here we have to expect more questions as MCQs, because it can be twisting, because there are so many numbers in it. So it can be twisting, and they can ask it for MCQ. So this much is there regarding the snayu and peshi, because it is a very small topic. And so I have covered it, I think. So thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the wonderful session, ma'am.
Thank you.
Now, shall we take a few questions, ma'am?
Yeah, yeah,
So,
sure.
okay. I request viewers to start posting your questions in the chat box, and I will be reading out that to ma'am.
Pardon?
No, ma'am, I requested the viewers to put questions or
Okay,
send us
okay.
in the chat, so I will be reading that out to you. Yes, ma'am. Shall we wait for another 3 to 5 minutes, ma'am?
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Hello, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. We have got a question.
Yeah.
This
Hello.
Sorry, ma'am, I lost connectivity. The
Yeah, it's
question
okay.
is regarding, yes, ma'am. The question is regarding, the student is worried about remembering mama name. The student is asking regarding that, ma'am.
While approaching Marma, it should be like the region wise. If you are studying, it will be more easy for you. How many Marmas are there region wise? Apart from simply by hearting the Marma names, you have to go like there are only 11 Marmas in your limb. That is 44 are there in total, but in one limb there are only 11. So total 44, you have to only remember 11 names. And it is same as only the 37 marmas which are coming in the Urdu Jatragada is more complicated. The other areas we are having only very less marmas. The names are very less, but the number will be more because they are four in number or two in number in each regions. Like in Prishna Marma, all the marmas are two in number. So only and 14, total it is 14. And we have to remember only seven names. So while reading marmas, you have to make sure that you study it according to the region, apart from simply by hearting it.
Thank you, ma'am. Next question is, ma'am, is it necessary to memorize the numbers of Peshi and Snayu in each body part? For example, in Guda too, like that.
No, no. At least you have to remember, like in Madhya Shareera, then Urdu Jatrugada, and in Shagha, how many are there? Because that can be the probability of asking it is more, because it can be confusing.
Okay, ma'am. The next question is, if Snayu is given for 5 marks, ma'am, what are shlokas and how many shlokas to be written?
So you can include the first, that is definition of the snayu, that I've already shared in my slide. That is the ubadadu of medodadu, that can you can add that. Then also one more bhav prakasha, you can get a sloka, that also you can add. Then the types of the snayu, it's better to write in flowchart rather than writing the full shlokas and all. If slokas, you know, it is better to write, but rather than writing it and simply writing the meanings, it is better to display, or it is better to present in a way of flowchart, or in a way of pictorial representation, so that it can be seen to the examiner more. And you can include the that simile is there, like a boat, how the snayu it is working, that also you can include. In that, both the function of the snayu is also told and the simile is also told. So the definition of snayu, then the four types, the numbers, sorry, the four types they have told in two lines, that shloka, and also the last one, that is how it is related with the, or how it is like compared to the bamboo, that boat, how it is compared, that also you can include.
Thank you, ma'am. And the next question is, ma'am, if Adhika Peshi is given for 5 marks, is it necessary to correlate to modern?
Which one?
Adhika Peshi, ma'am.
That is in females.
Yes, ma'am.
Ah, so that 5 marks, I've not seen in previous question papers also, that only the like Persian females are asked. They In previous schemes, that 3 marks questions were there, so they were asking that in that category, that is 3 marks, they were asking their twin, so that is 520, how it becomes. So we can just enumerate and write it down. But here the chances of only asking the female Peshis are less.
Okay, ma'am. Uh, the next question is from us, ma'am, on behalf of all the students. Ma'am, what would you like to suggest for the exam writing students to face the exams bravely and to not to go under any kind of mental stress, not to worry about the results and to face it now only less than 2 weeks are left, ma'am. So
Yeah,
what
yeah.
would you like to suggest for them to be mentally prepared for the exams and face it bravely than getting feared of the exam, ma'am?
The basic things you would have covered already, like in classes, as well as in the 2 weeks of revision. You would have covered most of the portions. But the thing is, you'll be worried about what will be asked. Even though I'm studying so much, what will be asked? So you have to understand the markings, how much it is the weightage of the mark for each portion. You have to give emphasize like that, because for Garbhasharya it is more, for Marma it is more, for other portions like Paribhasha it is less. So you have to emphasize the topics like that, and you have to study regardingly. And while approaching that question, if it is for 5 marks, don't think that you don't know, or don't approach the question as if you don't know. At least write something there. You would have heard it in your 1 year curriculum or in 1.5 year curriculum. You would have heard in classes, or you would have heard from your friends, or like all others, some things about the Ayurvedic, or like or any other portions. You'd have heard something, and many dissection classes you are going through. So some or other point you'll be remembered. At least write that. Don't skip that question, because in today's scheme it is difficult for a student to approach, because there are 10 marks question, 4 10 marks question, and the others are of 5. So the students are thinking like, only I have to approach the 10 marks and the 5 marks. They are just omitting the time for the MCQs. Actually, at least 1 minute for one MCQ is needed, because you have to think and write, because there will be two answers which will be similar, and it will be confusing for you. So you have to just think, then you can write. So at least time, manage your time. And my suggestion is, at least once you write the examination with a timer, like 3 hours you give it, and you just write it, so that you will gain a confidence in yourself. At least 5 or 6 members you can, like, make a question paper, or any previous question papers you can take. You can add just MCQs to it, and you can write it for 3 hours. So your writing speed will be increased, and that is the main problem that you'll face, because you'll just like learn everything, it will be there in mind, but the thing is that you have to make it in your paper. So the your hand should work. So for that, you need to practice by writing itself.
Thank you, ma'am. And also, what would you like to suggest for RS6 and RS5 scheme students, ma'am, who have backlogs and are writing their probably their second or third attempt now, ma'am?
So for them, I'm telling, like, you can go through the previous question papers. There will be like repeated questions. You can solve that. And again, I'm telling, it is not about like by hearting or something. You have to draw the figure. You have to write it, and it makes a lot of difference while you're writing it. Then you should know how many pages, or how many things, how much things you have to write in it in for 10 marks, and 5 marks, how much I should write, where to stop also you should know, because it is not like only one question is asked. Some students will be having the capability to write like immense amount of pages for the things that they know. But the point is that for a 10-mark question, or a like 5-mark question, there will be a limited time. So for now we can calculate as such. It is for a 10 mark, if it is 15 minutes, then you have to stop it there and approach the next question. That like capability should be there in you. Otherwise you will be lost in that question itself. So try to write it down and try to repeat the things, and there will be some repeated questions that you will get the pattern of the questions you should see. And in for 3 marks they are having the RS6 and 7, I think they are having the 3-mark questions. So actually for 3 marks, at least you write whatever you know there, so that you can score at least half or a 1 mark there.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thanks for the suggestions and advice you have given for them, ma'am. I think that they would really adapt those suggestions and would get the best out of the exams, ma'am. And thank you for hosting the session today, ma'am. And thank you for giving an opportunity for us to host you today, ma'am, in our journey of helping the first year students to give something for them in their exams. Thank you for being a part of this journey, ma'am. On behalf of my whole team at Jignesha, I would like to extend our warmest gratitude to you, ma'am, for agreeing despite your busy academic schedule or other things and other concerns related to it, anything. Thanks for joining us today, ma'am. And personally, I we missed you, ma'am. For rest half of the year, we missed you. We still talk about you, Sanjana, ma'am. Sanjana ma'am used to teach like that,
Actually,
and
it is a
we
like
still
a
remember.
warm feeling for me because I'm seeing or like talking to you people. I know that it was all of a sudden that I came back here, but like it is so warm when you people call me or when you people message me. It is so warm, and I remember you people so much, even though it was for 1 month or 2 months. I remember you so much. And
Yes,
actually,
ma'am.
thank you
It was
to
completely.
all the team members who had come up with this
Thank you,
idea
ma'am.
of
Yes, ma'am.
helping like your classmates or your juniors or somebody who is in um, it should not or it must not be intentional that they had back papers or something, because there are students who will study a lot and they'll suffer after that one back paper or one supplementary. If they get, they'll be emotionally they'll be down. So there should be a team of members who are like um, backing them and giving support that you can do it apart from the family members. If it is your age group, then it is very good to see.
Thank you, ma'am. Actually, coming to the part where you left, ma'am, it was really something which happened so sudden, ma'am, because we are having your classes regularly. Then it happened just like that. We still remember the embryology classes you taught us, ma'am. We haven't forgot that still the whole embryology classes. And and for also hand how cool you handle the mischievous students like me, especially. So I personally
Yeah.
still remember you, man, and we missed you for rest half of the year. We still talk.
Actually,
Sanjana ma'am
I
should have
think
been there for
for the first year teachers, it is more fun to get a new bunch of students every year and to get to know with them. It's a good feeling actually. And you people were mysterious. That is there.
Thank you, ma'am. And
Convey
yes,
my
ma'am.
regards to
And
everyone
and
there.
you are the one. Yes, ma'am. And you're the one teacher who didn't complain about us being mischievous and handled us in the class only, ma'am. And we were really we miss mainly for that, ma'am. Despite us being so mischievous and so talkative in the class, ma'am never complained about us. Ma'am handled us in class. She used to confront us personally and tell us to not to do these things rather than complaining to other teachers or something. That was the thing we liked you so much, man. So we missed
There
you
is
for
no
that,
point in
really.
that because we all of us know that you are like just 18 or 19 years of age. So all this can happen in the class. So we have to take it in that way itself. I hope you people have
Thank you,
matured
ma'am.
now.
Thank you. We are in the path of maturing, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so
Thank
much
you, ma'am.
for
Thank you
approaching
for
me
all the.
and remembering me. So that's good. Thank you so much.
And we remember you on any given day, ma'am. Thank you for all the teachings and love, affection you have given for us, ma'am. We would be forever grateful and forever in a thought that we had a teacher like this in our first year who made our first year beautiful, be it learning or be it any other things. Thank you for that, ma'am. Also, thank you for agreeing to the session on such a
Yeah,
short
thank you.
notice, ma'am. And also the thing you told about RS mention, yes, ma'am. No one, actually, there are students who study more than anyone, actually, who are very talented. They answer
Yeah,
very well,
that's
they do
what, it's
discipline,
not
they
their
do
fault or
discipline.
something, but the thing is, what you have to remember is till your PUC you would have followed a pattern. Like your teachers will tell you some notes and you will just by heart it and you will go and write it in your exams. But here this is a professional course and the approach should be different. And I think within say 4 to 6 months of your first year itself you have to understand it. Otherwise it is very difficult for you. That's what one thing.
Completely agree, ma'am. Because in 10th and second year and all, there's fixed questions, ma'am, and fixed answers. There will be a question bank,
Yeah,
and
you can
questions
write
used to
because
come
it
from
is fixed.
different
Like you will get
only.
5 marks means you will get 5 marks, but here it is not like that.
Yes, ma'am.
So you should not expect the full marks or something. So that is
Yes, ma'am.
important.
Even sometimes parents wonder. Even sometimes parents wonder why we haven't got 97 or 98. They
But
usually ask those questions because the
but that
transition to
approach.
professional course from PU or college, ma'am,
Yeah, that
the
is because you all of the
under
students who
certain
are coming for this professional course will be like your school first, or like in first five of your school, like ranking five of your school, or district first, or like that. Because all of you are good students only, but the thing is how to approach the professional courses and how to approach the papers and how to present it. That is different from what you have studied. So that I think the trainings have been given, but the approach of the student, because you have learned it for your like 17 or 16 years, you have learned like that, and suddenly you have to change means it takes time. But like within that 6 months only, if you are approaching it differently, then you can write it in a good way.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks. And again, once again, on behalf of my whole team at Jignesha, who are worked very hard for this program to come online on board. On behalf of all of them, I would like to extend a warmest greetings to you, ma'am. And we would like to work with you in future also, ma'am. I would like
Yeah,
to come and meet again with you and Manu Krishna sir in this college sir also has supported us a lot
yeah,
for
yeah.
our sessions, ma'am.
Yeah,
We would actually like
we'll
to come
extend our means teaching
and
experiences with you as well in future as well.
thank you, ma'am. We look forward to work with you and make anatomy much more fun in a way that students can easily understand and not get afraid of this subject and feeling this is some very huge or difficult subject. We will work together in that regard, ma'am. Thanks again, ma'am. Thanks again for
Thank you
joining
so
us.
much.
Ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I request your permission to end the session, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. I'll be ending the session now. Thank you, viewers, for joining us today. Join us for the 23rd and 24th session again tomorrow for another two topics.